When I started this class, I was not very news literate. I was also not very interested in the news, but watching CNN 10 every day made me kind of more interested, but I still did not care. When we started the News Diet 1, the first question was, what does news mean to you? My answer was, it means stuff that's important to our country or world, about politics or things about our culture. But doing the News Diet definitely changed that. Starting the second part of the News Diet, I realized that most of my news came from ESPN or social media, mostly Instagram. Also, I got a lot of news from StarWars.com. And when doing it, I thought, was my news very newsworthy? I didn't realize until after that the news I care about is not very important to many other people, which made me question how newsworthy this stuff really was. The third news diet helped me realize what I lacked. I lacked international news and news that came from other point of views. At this time, I did not know anything about international besides stuff we talked about in the class. I also lacked political news, and I thought that political news was boring, but one thing that made political news more easy to follow were political cartoons, which we did during class. To me, I thought if I learned more news that affected other people, that would make me a better news consumer and easier to talk to. My next step was starting to watch and read news that I usually wouldn't have paid attention to. I started watching more CNN and Fox, and even follow those accounts on Instagram. I also started following more Instagram news pages. Like I started following BBC, and I also followed NBC News. I realized that the news was actually pretty interesting, and that news watchdogs really helped the news because they made sure that the people in power were doing the right thing, and then they also kind of made news more interesting because it added a little conspiracy to the news. To me, the most negative thing about the news is that there's so many things that are going on in this world that just are hard to hear about, like the shootings. At the end of this 5-step process, I realized that this was kind of fun, and I do enjoy the news for the most part now. It doesn't have that big of an effect on my social life, but that's just because me and my friends don't talk about the news that much, other than sports and entertainment. We don't really talk about politics that much because it just causes conflict. I don't really read op-eds that much because I like to learn my news from non-opinion news sources. At the end of this, I realized that this news diet really changed the way I see the news, and I do enjoy watching the news, and it was really fun, and I hope others that do this feel the same way.